Addendum to the Hugh Board podcast for this Saturday, the 21st of March, 22nd day of the war in the against Iran that Iran is facing from Israel and the United States, recklessly placed into the path of that they've been predicting and planning for about 30 odd years. What happens when the lion wanders down to the water hole that everybody must always drink from? All the herbivores, all the carnivores, all the other creatures in the entire ecosystem have to use and rely on in order to maintain life, and suddenly destroy. This is essentially what is happening right now. We're seeing the reduction of most of the energy flow on Earth that our entire economies all are designed to live on in an incredibly specific and reckless way. We're losing all our oil, all our energy, all our the nutrients we need in order to do absolutely everything. Now, John Howard Kunstler back in the 90s wrote a book called The Long Emergency, and he was looking at Hubbert's peak, looking at the decline in global petrochemical ability and how this is going to impact the world. We're now seeing that in real time. We're now seeing that we're getting a restriction of at least, like with the natural gas, at least 1/5 of the global supply is gone. Oil is going into a price shock that is into demand destruction territory for the global economy. So we're now seeing an energy shock that the likes of which, and I'm not alone in this. I mean, even like guys actually pay attention to this stuff professionally are saying this has never happened before. So now we're at that point. What happens now that the lion just took a massive, huge squat in the pool that we all drink from? Well, everything is about to get vastly less stable and vastly more worse. If we are facing a situation where we have got a global energy constriction, we are going to be facing reductions in the ability of nations to agree and work with each other. We're going to see a lot of disruption. When we see these disruptions, that's going to result in conflict that will grow from what we're actually trying to do right now. We're trying to stabilize a system that is in decay. The rest of the world. I'm not talking about the United States or Israel or anything like that. I'm talking about Canada, Europe, NATO, China. Any sane country on this planet does not want to see this happening. My question and my concern is, going forward next week, how is that going to be managed? Because all I can see is that we're about to hit an energy shock, which is going to cause nations to turn on each other. Whenever you have an energy restriction or a resource restriction, you always see conflict. So that's going to be a thing that is going to be happening. How are we going to manage that? What are our plans going forward? I'm very confident, Carney being an economist of great renown, that he actually is thinking about this. So from a Canadian perspective, I think we probably have a plan in place for how to stick handle this. I'm concerned globally, though, because all I can see is that this is a shock that is going to affect and harm and crush the lives of millions of people around the globe. We're not even talking about nuclear weapons. We're just talking about energy scarcity at this point. You don't need to shut off all the energy supply to the world in order to do incredible damage. All you need to do is shut off just enough that you're not getting enough oxygen. Like, think of it like what the Americans did back in the Iraq War, the first Iraq War. Second, I guess. Gulf War was the first war. The second Iraq War, when they went in on their own candidate, wasn't involved. They had things like waterboarding, and waterboarding became standard practice. Waterboarding means what you're doing is you're not killing somebody legally. What you're doing is you're putting them to a panic state because you have destroyed their ability to get enough oxygen in order to survive. That's essentially what has been happening to the world right now. This is dangerous. Will the United States change their role? I don't think so. All I can see right now is that as Trump's polls, and apparently he's getting into the 20% in terms of popularity, all I can see is that what this means is he's going to ensure that the systems that can defeat him are destroyed. We're about to see the United States lurch ever further into a totalitarian disaster zone where the government reduces the people's ability to do absolutely anything productive to defend against what the government is doing. I don't think we're going to see a government policy change in the United States in the next week or two that is going to manage this at this stage. No, everything is still volatile. I mean, we're essentially riding an avalanche down the side of a mountain. We do not know how this is going to play out. All I can see, though, are bad things and big, huge trees ahead that we might be rolling into. I hope I'm wrong. We'll see. Let's see what tomorrow brings, because we might get more missiles and mines and mayhem. Oh my. But anyways. All right. Well, I better go talk to my sons. So from the Hugh Bunker, I'll just say thank you very much. And if you like what I'm trying to say here, please share, like, and subscribe.